You know, it's always a great sign when the behind the scenes stories of your film are more interesting than the movie itself. Spencer Gotchis here with another movie review. Today we'll be talking about The Current War, the director's cut by Alfonso Gomez Rejon. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And these are movies that I don't really seek out to see in theaters. Historical dramas like this, I usually like to wait until one of them gets nominated for Best Picture and then I go see it, like The Imitation Game with Benedict Cumberbatch, who happens to be in this movie as well. But since now I have my AMC A-list and I had a couple family members want to go see this movie, I decided to tag along. But sadly, this movie is just a jumbled mess. But before I get to the movie itself, I wanted to give you a little backstory because this is actually probably the most fascinating part of this movie is the story of how this movie kind of came to be. So walking into this movie, I was kind of confused to why this was called the director's cut. And usually director's cuts are usually like 2.5 hours or 3 hours. It's the original film plus deleted scenes or whatever. But this movie sits at a nice like hour 45. So walking into it, I was like, why is this called the director's cut? Also, where's the original? So before the movie started, I decided to do a little bit digging and I found out that this movie actually came out 2 years ago in 2017. It made its first appearance at the Toronto International Film Festival, also known as TIFF, and it was panned across the board. Nobody liked this movie at that festival, and the director says that that is mostly because of the editing. And the director also said that once he was done making the film, he handed it off to the Weinstein Company, who was the film's original producer. Now, I don't think I need to go into what happened to the Weinstein Company, so I'm just going to skip that part. But because of all that drama, this film was just lost. It was forgotten about until 101 Studios, and with the help of Martin Scorsese, they paid $3 million for the rights of this film, so the director got to re-edit this film and re-put it out there the way it was intended. I'm sorry, dude. I just don't think you have a good movie here. I found it interesting that the director specifically pointed out the editing choices that the Weinstein Company made was the downfall of this movie, because that was still the worst part about this movie, is the editing. The cinematography is decent. All the performances were really great. Benedict Cumberbatch and Tom Holland's in this movie and completely underused. There's a bunch of people in this movie that do a really great job. As I said, the cinematography is decent and the story is actually a very fascinating story in history that I personally did not know about. But I don't know what this director was thinking and why he decided to make this movie such a jumbled mess. It jumps from scene to scene so quickly. It's like it doesn't give the audience a chance to breathe and take in these really important conversations that get cut short every single time. On top of that, the director decided to input scenes that didn't play any relevance to what was going on in the film at the time, but throughout the movie it completes by the end, and it just kind of left me thinking, why was it there in the first place? But then there are also some scenes where he spread out throughout the film where they end up playing a huge role, like a pivotal role in the movie, but the way that it was put together, it just lost all gravitas, and it just left me thinking, what? Why? And this movie, as I said, is only like an hour 45, and it felt like a 3-hour movie. And on top of that, I think this movie would have benefited for it being longer. But if the editing choices were the same in a 3-hour movie, it would not change. Now, I again, looking into the director's cut, I saw that the director added in 5 additional scenes to this movie that was different from the original cut. But this movie is, I think, said it was 10 minutes shorter 10 minutes short. How does that happen? 5 additional scenes and 10 minutes shorter? That just doesn't make any sense to me. This whole movie doesn't make any sense. It kind of gets you and whiplashes you around the whole entire time, and you just kind of leave the movie and go, okay, there was, Edison was there, and there was a light bulb, and there was a competition to see who would power the United States, and okay. I just felt like I was on a very rickety roller coaster. I was being whipped around. I didn't know what the hell was happening most of this movie. I always like stories of the director finally getting to do what he wanted to do with the film, and I feel really bad for this guy that he had to go through 2 years of trying to get this movie that he worked so hard on to get, and he finally got the rights. And I would love to support this dude and all the work that went into making this movie, but I cannot say this is a good film, and I cannot say that I recommend it. So if you're thinking about going to see this film, I would skip it. Go see something else. Sorry, Alfonso, but maybe better luck next time. Anyway, that is my review of The Current War, the director's cut. If you've seen this movie, let me know what you think. And am I completely wrong? Did this director's cut make this movie a lot better? And yeah, let me know. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll be back shortly with another one. Bye.